Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of ChluyTalk. I am your host, Chluy. Today, I got a very special guest from the great world of Philadelphia. But before I introduce him, I'm going to roll the intro. So today's guest is a real estate investor. We have a lot of mutual friends in Philadelphia. His name is Sean Radiant Sun, all the way from Phila. How do you say it? How do Khmer people say it?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah, man. This is my man, Sean, man. So Sean's been doing a lot of great work in the community, flipping houses and like buying property, flipping, just on that real estate grind. Like, I think I've known you through JL Jupiter. Like early on, you guys were doing like videos, like like a tear down or like just like what's it called, renovations and stuff. So it's like, wow, this is cool. I would love to pick your brain on the investment game and sales. So, but before we get into that, let's just tell me about who you are. Who is Sean, and what's it like growing up in Philly?
Oh yeah, so honestly, my actual name is a typical Cambodian name. I think, growing up, I didn't really like it. So it was actually in Cambodian, it's actually a girl's name, Soka.
Soka?
So
that's a common name, yeah. I know a couple of Sokas. Yeah.
Female name. So I think I come across one guy that was a Soka and stuff like that. But I guess growing up with it and it being Cambodian, it was always a male name to me,
Mm-hmm.
But that's my real name, Soka's son. But I guess over the years and my transformation of self-development, I developed into who I am today, which is Sean Radiant Sun. I actually got the Radiant name through my mentor, coach, best friend. Shout out to Dave, Mr. Real Estate Asian. But early on, he just gave me that name naturally. He actually showed me in his phone that he saved me as that. And I never understood and was in alignment with that name yet, but he knew from the moment he met me, so that was amazing in itself. And when I adopted that name, it was in alignment with my last name because the sun and naturally is powerful, radiant and stuff like that. So he's like, Sean, you're the radiant sun, physically. And when I got it, when you get something, you can't unget it. It's like when you learn how to do editing, right? You're like, I get the transition now. And it's like, now I can't unget it. So when I got that actual nickname and I embodied it, I actually knew that it was like one of my superpowers. So when I talk about superpowers, I always say it's something that you naturally do so well that you don't even consider it a superpower. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel it. That's an interesting story. Definitely, I think, I don't know if you know, like I told this story many times, like Chluy, JL Jupiter came with the name. So that's always going to be my story. Yeah, like he came up with the name. We just started saying it in like daily convo, like in an attempt to speak Khmer to each other to practice. And then, it just stuck. I took the name and that became my brand. So I'm always going to stick with one name too. Like I don't like to change names. So if that's I feel like that's meant to be, like that's going to be my name. So.
Right. So my mom, what is your actual name? I personally don't know.
Oh, really? My actual name is Phanit, but it's like Phanit, but Phanit is like how you pronounce it in Khmer, but yeah, so
right on
Phanit, yeah.
It reminds me. I always read it as Phanit for some reason.
Yeah, even my teachers, I was they could never get it right, so it's like Phanit.
For me, what? It's like the H is silent because in my name they do like SOK sock and then the ha, and I'm like, the H is silent, so it's Soka,
Yeah.
I can relate to that a lot. But I meant, just to get back to where I came from, I was born in Thailand. Never really realized when I got here, but my little sister was born in Philippines in 88. So when I really asked my mom, we got to America in 88, like fall or winter. So the moment she was born, we just transitioned to America immediately from Philippines.
Straight
Uh,
to Philly, or did you go somewhere else to settle?
to be honest, I think it was somewhere Camden. I remember Camden.
Okay.
My dad's family, brothers, sisters were with us in Camden for a while, and then they moved down to St. Pete, Florida, and then we transitioned to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, sometime in '88 we arrived here, and yeah, we went back to the motherland in '93. I would say '92, '93 is when I gained consciousness. So if I was born in '86 to '93, that's what, 7 years old, which is actually at my 7th birthday is the first birthday I can actually remember, you know? And I
Mm.
always ask people, I was like, when did you gain like thought? Like, when did you start thinking about everything? You know,
Right.
when consciousness kicked in, your subconscious, like that actual person in there talking, whatever it may be. But for me, it was 7 years old. And that was '93 when we revisited Vietnam, because my parents were training us for visiting the motherland.
Mm.
And I didn't realize how intense it was. You know, you can get kidnapped and all that stuff. And yeah, I meant that's when consciousness kicked in for me. So at the age of 7 is when I really had real thought. Well, actually, when did you have real thought? You know, I've
I
actually asked
think
people
probably 6 years
like
old.
as early as 3, and I was like, damn, 3 years old.
I don't remember that. I remember like probably like 5, 6, between 5 and 6, 7. You know,
Okay.
probably 5 and 6. I remember a lot of things as a baby. So, but yeah, man. So did you go to you went to Philly, and what was it like growing up in Philly? Like it's pretty big my community now. So I would imagine like a lot of people immigrated to Philly from Sokamai.
Yeah, there was a big community, but honestly, I realize now that because my parents chose to stay in Philly, and my dad's older brother, older sister, and all their kids moved to St. Pete, we were the only family here in Philly. Like, so it was really just my
Mm-hmm.
mom, dad, and 2 sisters. So just the 5 of us. We didn't really have cousins, aunts, and
Mm-hmm.
uncles and stuff like that. And my parents naturally, just as a bigger picture, when I had my first son at the age of 20. So I just remember, I'm not sure when they had us or what age they were, but being a parent early, I can relate to their struggles, and not just struggles being here in America, but struggles between each other, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding this new world and stuff like that. And it was really hard actually not having family and stuff, because automatically I thought anybody else that was Cambodian was like, oh, you my cousin. Like I,
Mm-hmm.
I actually automatically subconsciously yearned for that when I heard like, what's cousin? You know, seeing my neighbors like, oh yeah, my cousin's coming over. Like, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, my parents never talk about cousin or nothing like that. So
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, like growing up, just the 5 of us and not having no relation outside of that. My parents had friendships, but they weren't that social as I would like them to be. But in hindsight, I appreciate that they kept it tight knit so much. You know,
Wow.
it really shaped who I am. You know, and I can understand. You know, like I'm thinking bigger, but my parents gave me the biggest lesson. You know, family is really important. Like if you have family, you know, that's good. That's good enough, you know? So I guess they instilled early on, whether I like to see it or not, it took time for me to accept that. But, you know, yeah, I love that your parents will give you the biggest lessons in life. And they actually, whether they know it or not, are actually willing to accept everything that comes with giving that lesson, even if it loses your children. Like,
Right.
you know, yeah. And you know, they gifted me something where, you know, because family was all, you know, just the 5 of us, and I should have focused on that, but I was yearning for something. It was tough a little bit, you know. I felt a little lonely being the only boy in my family other than my father, you know. But
Oh, so you have siblings? How many siblings? And you were the oldest, or are you the youngest?
nah, I was the middle child, so you know, middle child. We be
The
going through
middle
shit.
child.
Top of that, I'm a cancer, so I'm like, damn this emotional shit, you know.
uh,
So being the only male with no family around, I had to be cool with my generation, right? My age group. I had to be
Right.
cool with the OGs, the old heads. Like I had to actually go out and get to know them, be cool with them. And then also that I gotta be cool with the young bulls, right? It's like
Right.
being the only one is like you gotta connect with older generation, your generation, and younger generation. But if you have a sibling, automatically you have one by default. So if I had an older brother, automatically I would have had his generation. On top of his generation, by him having an OG, right, looking up to the older group of him, I would have had that as association, 2 levels, right? On top of that, I got a level below me where this level below me automatically is looking up to the second level of an OG, which is my brother's generation, because they're around me. And then on top of that, by default, it's like they know me, whether they want to or not. I don't even have to try below. So you have a level below me, my level, your brother's level, and then that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I meant, this is just how I see it. Like, it's just by association, you got it. You see what I'm saying? Even if I
Yeah.
would push the roles, what if I was the older brother? It's still the same thing. You still got like 4 or 5 levels in between. But because I was alone, it was like I got to connect with at least 3. I'm being honest, you know what I mean? It was really tough to be in this space and to talk about it for this first time publicly. It was tough growing up in Philly, looking for a crew to fit in.
Right.
No, but I'm gonna tell you the truth though, is that I always grew up thinking like, man, I'm not accepted in this group because, I ain't got family or nothing there. I'm not a cousin. I'm not a sibling. I didn't grow up in that neighborhood, right? That was what I told myself for a long time. But in hindsight, the truth is I never was accepted in there because I never accepted them, because really what that group did and stuff like that, I naturally didn't like to do. I'm not labeling it bad or good. Whatever it is that they enjoy, I naturally didn't like to do. Is why I wasn't accepted, or I didn't accept them, because I could have forced it. I could have just kept coming back, chilling, right? At some point, it's like, yo, Sean, what you doing? Come out and chill with us, right?
Right.
But it was just like, nah, I don't really do what they do. I'm not even going to force it, So that's just what I accept now. And, Buddha has blessed me with 2 boys. And man, I always wanted a girl, but all right, okay. I never had a group growing up, little crew, but now he blessed me with 2 beautiful boys. So I can't complain.
That's what's up. Well, how has fatherhood changed your life, and what type of difficulties did you have to go through early on, like to any adversity you had to overcome, especially with being in.
How old do I look? How old do you think?
Man, you look young, man. I'm 37, so I'm turning 38 in March. So you're probably my age or younger. I think you're younger.
What you think?
34, maybe.
Oh, man, that's like spot on, bro. Yeah, 34.
Mm-mm.
Turned 35.
That's a wild guess. I took a wild guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I turned 35 in July, but I mean, naturally, I have a baby face, right? So people
You could pass for like the 20s. I just trying to get
people
it right.
20, 23. I'm like, God bless you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
God bless you. And you know what? When I was at the age of 19, 20, I had my first son, and
19.
I was like, man, then I wasn't present or in that spiritual realm to actually realize what was going on. I was just going with the flow. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize how early I started, 20. And
Wow.
I remember my mom being upset. My dad, like, he didn't say it, but he kind of like disowned me because I didn't go their route, of going to school, like what my older sister did. She went to Drexel University, graduated and stuff. And, it hit home later in the years of how impactful it was for my family when I heard that through my little sister, that when I got my oldest son's mom pregnant, that my oldest sister, when she heard the news, she cried. I'm like, why would you cry? But she cried because it was just too early for me. I didn't really get to live life. I didn't get to explore. And then, when you have kids, your life no longer matters.
Yeah. Everything changes.
Everything changes.
Priorities,
Priorities. And I learned a lot from my first son. And shout out to Sean. Sean King's son, my oldest, 15-year-old. He's beautiful. He's so handsome. When I think about him, I could cry. You know what I mean? He's growing up to be a beautiful young man. And, I was like, in 5 years, I actually thought about it recently. I was like, in 5 years, time is when I have him. And I was like, Dad, he's such a baby. I was like, I'll slap the shit out of him. You know what I mean? And I was like, I gotta go condom shopping, like, you know what I mean? And I say this because my parents took a box that I had away. I was like, see, that's karma, parents. Don't take my box of condoms out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, man.
That's hilarious.
I was like, man, I gotta really, connect with him in ways that my parents didn't do. So
Right.
being a father from early on, he taught me so much. He taught me about responsibility. And, to be truthful, shout out to all the fathers out there.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the
Because,
fathers.
look, boys, Chluy, even you, men, boys in general, we don't think about being a husband, doing housework and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I don't think we'll ever be ready, Yeah.
We're playing Ninja Turtles, Batman, Marvel. We're
Street
playing
Fighter.
games.
Yeah.
We're playing karate. We're playing like Guns and Robbers. You know what I mean? We're playing like that. But what are women playing? Shout out to the women. You guys, I love you guys.
They got their whole career planned out already. They got their career path mapped out, their dream board. We're over here playing Tekken.
They're actually groomed for that. But shout out to the females though. Like,
salute to all the females.
I learned something recently that, men, we have stomachs. Women, they have the universe. Like they wombs. They have wombs. They create universe in their stomachs. And that was really powerful for me. It really valued females in general of what they can create. A whole universe, like a whole kid. I got my son right here to the left of me. It's amazing to me. But, from a male's perspective, when it happens, it's like we're learning on the go.
On the go, yeah.
Especially from a young age. It's just like, man, battling like what I wanted to do, experience. I wanted to party, hang out. I seen friends partying and stuff, but you know what? I value everything that happened in my life because it really helped shape me for where I'm at today, And it's just been an amazing ride having my son early on, 20, teaching me a lot. And I tell him now, like, man, you taught me so much. I don't know. I gotta repay you back by giving you the best life ever. But it's
awesome.
It's not by like me just showering you with money. I'm going to give you stuff that I didn't get. Learning, credit, investing.
Financial literacy. Damn, maybe you can teach him early. That's what we didn't get taught in school, really. But that's cool that you have a great relationship with your son and your kids.
Yeah, I don't get to see him as often. Shout out to him again. He's busy with his life. He's 15. 15-year-old. Like, when I think about it, I'm like, yo, we about to start together like 6 years. Like, what?
He got his permit already. He's probably on the road driving already, yeah.
Right. I'm preparing to gift them a car and stuff like that. But I got my my other one. He just turned 8 last November. So my youngest is November, and then the oldest is December. So around Christmas time, guys, don't even think about asking me for money. I'd be broke. But my youngest, he's 8, and man, he's so amazing. I love him so much. He really stamped what fatherhood is because my oldest, me and his mom split early on at the age of 2. So I had breaks where, times when I didn't have my oldest son, I get to be my young self again. Like I had him at the age of 20. Like even to this day, when my kids aren't around, I'm 20 years old. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. I take advantage of it because I missed out on a lot of that, So I take advantage anytime they're around. But I wouldn't trade fatherhood for the world. It's who I am, and I tell everybody that it's really purposeful in life. If you really want a purpose, hey, go find the right one, and then have that tough conversation is with yourself, not even with the female. Like, hey, is this the one? Like, hey, let's reproduce then. You know what I mean? To be straightforward. And yeah, it's been amazing, man. It's been amazing. Fatherhood, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And thanks for sharing that story with yeah, definitely I think it's important to have that relationship with your family, with your kids, and what type of jobs did you have, and like how did you stumble upon becoming a real estate investor and just going ham? I've been seeing you grinding, killing it.
Yeah, man. I've been really focused. This discovery of focus has been really amazing under my mentorship of Dave Tran. And I just discovered it really recently. I would say April of 2018 is when I started my journey of mentorship and what serious coaching could be like. So let's start at the beginning of actually just working. I guess my first job was Dunkin' Donuts. That was literally by default of my parents forcing me at the age of 16 in the summer to go work. And my mind blew up because I was like, is this what people got to do every day to get money? And I was like, this can't be true. For some reason, I was like, this can't be true. And I felt like it can't be true because how would you say, Mom? How do you say become a monk? Cambodian is rough, you know?
Yeah, you become a monk. I think there's a word for it. I just can't think of it right now. Ordained. You were ordained as a monk. Yeah.
Right. So it happened twice to me. And I'm not saying like ordained like here in the States. It happened to me over in Vietnam, Cambodian, big
Wow.
and everything. And I wasn't even prepared for that. So at the age of 8, 9, summer, right? From school. So June, July, August-ish is when it happened the first time. And I just got dropped into this world of natural temple with woods. And then it happened again at the age of 11. Both times, the first time was the longest. So it was about like a month and a half. The second time was voluntary by me, but it happened to be a good thing because during that time, my grandfather passed away. So it was like all the boys, in Vietnam, all the boys in Cambodian culture within that family should get ordained for the time of the funeral, the ceremony.
Right.
So I was already ordained, and then my father and his brother got ordained, which is really odd because the fact that I got ordained before them, I was like it's like hierarchy. They actually sat below me. I was like, holy crap, like that. You know what I mean? Like for a moment in time, you guys are kind of like beneath me. You know what I mean? Like I sat above them a little bit, which was pretty cool. But that's besides the point. But it was something really beautiful for me to experience because all I can remember then was chaos. And then after I got out of it was kind of like in a calm state of mind. I was like, this is different. Things slowed down a little bit, And to fast forward, first job, Dunkin' Donuts, service industry. And I was like, man, why would people choose this? Working every day, dollars.
Right.
And I was like, when I was the monk, all we did was walk around with a bowl to each house and they would just drop food and dollars in there. You get what I'm trying to say? So that I'm like, man, this is tough. This is tough. So when I went back to school, my dad said, quit, just focus on studies. So it's just like my parents always push studies, not dollars. And they didn't, push studies, not dollars. But I think that's any typical Asian parent at first, right? Hey, if you push studies, the dollars will follow,
Yeah. Real skill. Yeah.
But, having a kid at an early age and then technically kind of being disowned and stuff, I was like, man, I got to go to work. I asked for a child and stuff like that. And I went into the workforce and it kind of always was in alignment with sales, retail of that factor. I didn't really like the factory stuff. I was always a person of wanting interaction. Like I couldn't stay in one place and repeat something. Not to say that's a bad thing. Shout out to the factory workers and stuff like that. It's just for me, I found myself, you know what, if I am going to work, I'd rather work around and be able to interact with people. So I guess sales stumbled upon myself where my little sister was working at a retail urban company. So back then it was Kicks USA. Today it's Snipes USA. Snipes is in New York too, right? It is.
Snipes.
Snipes USA? I meant
I'm
Snipes.
not sure.
Not Snipes USA, Snipes.
Snipes. I don't know. I'm maybe, yeah, probably. But
I'm pretty sure they are. But it's kind of like
I remember Kicks USA though. I remember
yeah,
Kicks. Yeah.
USA. It's kind of, you know, streetwear, like a Foot Locker, but more in tune
Like urban
to
apparel. Yeah.
to the style of the city, I would say.
Yeah, like New York, like Timberlands and stuff like that.
Exactly. Cater to the style here.
Yeah.
So I just was like, you know what? When me and my oldest son's mom split, I needed a gig. And it was a hard separation. But I just kept it moving forward. And I needed a gig at the time. So I was shopping there. And I just asked the manager who my little sister used to be. And I was like, hey, you got anything part-time? I need something. And he was like, yeah, come by, fill out an app. And I just started out as sales. And in 1 month, I got promoted to management.
Wow.
Prior to that, I was working retail already. I was working at the airport selling like wireless accessories. So that was like an introduction to sales, but I wasn't conscious of what I was doing. It was just a job. I got a kid, I need a job. I got a kid, I need a job. I was still trying to have fun in between. But when the separation happened, I kind of woke up a little bit more and I went to something that was available. And in 1 month, I got into management. I got the keys to the store and I was like, all right, more money. Why not? And I just kept it growing from there because it came naturally to me.
Right on.
Yeah.
So
and to fast forward, I would say 10, 12 years in retail. I did leave Kicks for a certain amount of time. I went to Puma and King of Prussia. So King of Prussia is one of the biggest malls on the East Coast. I worked at Puma for like 1.5 years, 2 years. They shut down. They shut down because that's when online shopping was popping and the retail industry was starting to take a hit. So I was like, man, how are they even paying rent and stuff like that? How's any store paying rent? I'm just looking around at my neighbors. It's barely any, like even our store is barely cracking $1,000. How are they even doing this? And, you know, Black Friday, they call it Black Friday because when you're in the red, that day for shopping should get you in the black. You should be in now above zero. That's why they call it Black Friday, if anybody didn't know. But even still, I was just like, man, up until Black Friday, the entire year is just like, how are they okay with losing money? And I learned, you know, big chains like Puma, Nike and stuff is really just an advertisement for people to have a reminder to shop there. Go online, whatever you need. So it's like throwaway money and stuff like that. So they shut it down. They didn't renew their lease. I went to Timberland. And then that's when things really changed because I got fired at Timberland, right? Yeah. In 2017 of like April, I started to really get fed up with working, right? And I was like, man, I'm really tired. I was like, for me, to my next promotion of a district manager from store manager, I was like, if it's going by seniority, which it is, I was like, I'm looking at my manager. I was like, man, she's been in here for 10 years and she didn't even get the district manager. I was like, all right, 10 years, let's do this. Right? Yo, your eyes just like, what? 10 years, right? I went home and I was like, 10 years? I just kept saying 10 years, let's do this, 10 years. The next day I went into work, I was like, man, excuse my language, but fuck this 10 years. I was like, nah, I need another way now. You know, so around April till the end of June, I started to be open to any other opportunity to make money. And a good friend of mine, shout out to Hone Houdini Time. His tagline is I escaped the 9 to 5. He kept showing on his Facebook real estate investing. You know, and it wasn't just like, hey guys, real estate investing. Hey guys, real estate investing. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just like he was hitting my emotions and feelings like, yo, are you tired of your job and you want better, this and that? You know what I mean? Did you ever think about another opportunity? You know, the greatest, all the millionaires in life, a good percentage got to that point through real estate investing. You know, He was giving facts, like, not just about real estate, but he was bringing out emotions and feelings that started to make me mad at him or at the message. I was like, man, why you guys share this bullshit? But then I start to be aware, right? I start to question. I was like, man, who is really mad? Should I be mad at him or should I be taking this message that it is there, right? Something is happening to me where it's the truth, and make a point to change. So I was like, you know what? This guy is saying real estate investing helped him escape that. It's an opportunity. Sean, be open to it. So I messaged him and I was like, all right, where's this meeting? Can I go? And it was an hour away. I was like, fuck. I get off of work at like 6:30, an hour away, 7:30. The meeting starts at 7. So I'm like, I gotta ask to get off of work early. I was like, Sean, don't be a bitch. You ask for opportunities, you better drive that hour, do whatever it takes, to ask to get out of work early for 30 minutes. You just do whatever it takes. So I did that, and I made the meeting, and it just changed my life. It changed my life forever, because I never was around a group of real estate investors in that factor. And they're blatantly, like, shout out to my guy, Brian Mara. Like, he's up in front doing, I'm gonna be honest, like the pitch. You go to a meeting, the pitch, right? And he's just blatantly, for some reason, just like lasering me down. Like, as he's doing the whole thing, I'm just like, why?
You felt your energy.
Right. He's like, why are you staring at me? I'm gonna stare back. You know what I mean? And then what was funny was, it was the first day publicly that I owned my story. And it wasn't by choice. My friend Hone was like, Sean, you live in paycheck to paycheck? I'm like, man, you ain't gotta tell everybody. You know what I mean? And he's like, you ain't got a good credit. I'm like, all right, man, yeah, I ain't got it, So it was the first time my story got publicly shared, and it was like, by default, I have to accept it. I see that cup, JL Jupiter, right?
Yeah, I gotta rep my peoples.
Hey, shout out to JL, man.
Shout out to JL, man.
I got one of the t-shirts. I should have rocked that, but I ain't.
Lions not sheep. I like that. I like the message, man. But yeah, that's like you feel like I believe in things happening for a reason, and like that you seeing that Facebook post was like a sign. Like sometimes you go with the signs. Whatever message is out there in the universe. I feel it. Like if you didn't take the opportunity to reach out, this would probably might not happen, or it might have changed your path.
It was the first sign that I actually was conscious of. I was aware of. I was like, all right, you know what? Like, even saying it back to me, like, you asked for a sign, you better take it. Like, it was the first time my subconscious was on the team of growth. Normally, you want to be in discomfort. I mean, comfortability, right?
Right.
Your subconscious, like, oh man, like, you just want to chill and relax anyway. You don't want to do this podcast with Helen Chluy. You just want to play Super Smash Brothers, which is fun. But really, it was the first time I said, you asked for the opportunity, why don't you just explore it? I guess it got to a point where my subconscious was really tired of retail. I'm tired of this too. I was open to it. I went to it, and Brian was so blatant about it. He's like, if you want to do this, look around you. We're here to help you do it. On top of that, we do it right now. Man, you could really help us do it. You're going to help me do it. You're going to show me how you did it. I'm in. I just made a decision. I was like, man, I'm going to do this. What do I got to lose? So it was June 30th, somewhere at like the end, the last Thursday of June in 2017. July 3rd was my birthday. I bought this real estate education. That was the pitch, real estate education. But I seen the bigger picture. I was like, it just wasn't real estate education. It was access to the real estate investors who also bought the education. It was also a study group where they meet up once a week to talk about a topic. Like, I was visually seeing like, oh, it is real. They over there studying, So I was like, you know what? July 3rd is my birthday. I'm going to buy this $2,000 education for myself. And I didn't have the money, but I was like, I'm going to apply for a credit card and just swipe that. As a gift to myself. I didn't tell my wife, because she was going to disapprove anyway. So I was like, I'm not going to tell her, because if I tell her, she's going to talk me out of it and she's going to disapprove. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this education and I'm going to take it seriously, because now I have to get that $2,000 back. So July 3rd, bought the education, my ball. This was the start of everything. 60 days in, nothing but education. Like, the education was so powerful. It was just something so new and something so real today and present, right? And I
Yeah.
believe 100% that if these guys have access to the education and they're actually doing it, there's no reason why I can't learn this and do it myself. So it actually elevated who I was, right? So when I went to work, I became a better worker. Like, oh, shipment of sneakers, boots, Timbs, whatever, I'll do it. 70 boxes, let me do it because I got to play the education and just listen to it. So like, my first 90 days, from July 3rd to 90 days later, I made $10,000 with 6 hours worth of work. That was for me.
In real estate or?
Real estate.
So how long would it take to land your first deal? You close your first transaction?
60 days is when I got my first contract.
In 16 days?
60 days, 60.
Oh.
So from the day 1 to day 60, nothing but education. Like way to work, education. At work, education. Lunch, education. At night, education. 1 day a week, going to class. After work, from 7 to 9 o'clock. I committed myself for 60 days and just was obsessed with this stuff. And after 60 days, like day 61, I got my first contract. Prior to it, I was doing a lot. I was going to visit so many properties, learning. And day 61, I got my first contract.
Wow.
And I got it for $12,000. Not all done, but it was framed out, $12,000. Right? I talked them down from 22,000. No, actually 30 to 22 to 12,000, right? And it took about 4 times. So from the first time, a follow-up, another walkthrough, and then the follow-up where we signed the contract. So 4 times meeting with him, got him down from 30 to 12. And the moment he signed, man, my heart was beating. He gave me the key. I was like, man, I'm not going to put this on my key ring yet. I'm going to wait till he signed. And I was sweating bullets. And when he signed, man, I felt like I just did like 20 laps of cardio.
Wow. That's awesome.
I didn't have no feeling of actually making money. The fact that I made a contract go live was the most incredible thing to me. Because people are always talking about contracts. The fact that I got that far, I was like, man, this is a goal in itself. And I didn't even make money yet. The next step was, I didn't even know what the next step was. I was just trusting. I was like, what's the next step? Let me do that. Because it was pointless to think about anything else after if I never got to this step. So I was just in guidance and in tune with the whole study group and my peers. And they would say, go do this. All right, you got a contract, go do this. All right, and then do this. And then I had to go find a buyer, start advertising them. This is when I found my first real estate mentor, teacher, coach. He's now, I call him my rich dad. So if you guys ever heard that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Duong, right?
Yeah,
Robert
definitely heard of it. Yes.
This is where I connected with my rich dad, Jason Centeno. He's a retired firefighter, and now he just moved to Tampa, Florida last year. He's adopted like 5 kids. Like, he's just a blessing, an angel. And he took me in. He adopted me, Talk about adoptions. He adopted me as his son, his real estate son, and he helped me sell that deal. I sold it for $22,000, $10K. And I sold it in 30 days. But in that 30 days, from day 61 to day 90, the amount of time was about 7 hours worth of work.
Wow.
Right. And that blew my mind right there, because I was like, damn, man, in my salary here at Timlin, I'm making $2,000 a month. And that's 160 hours, right?
Right. I think so. I second math.
I just made like 10,000 with 6 hours worth of work. That was fucking incredible to me. Really, the rest is history. I never looked back. 30 days later, I got fired, and I went to class crying and shit. I went to my peers. I was like, oh man, I got fired. That's $2,000. I needed that, And then they said to me, like, Sean, you know what? Chluy, if you got fired, I would not tell you. I was like, oh man, you fucked up, man. You're gonna, how you gonna make money, man? You better go sell yourself. You know what I mean? I wouldn't really talk to you like that. I would really talk to you this way. I was like, yo, Chluy, it's cool. We're gonna find something. What's your skill set? What's something you want to do right now? Look, when Bong JL needed a job, this is what he did. Yo, when Bong Narun needed a job, this is, you know what I mean? Like, what can we do? I wouldn't talk to you in a manner of like, yo, man, you're going to fail. So they said to me, like, Sean, if you want to talk to me that way, why would you talk to yourself that way? You made 10K in 6 hours. Go do it again. So I wiped my tears. And I was like, you right, man. You right. And I went and locked up 3 contracts with my, at that time, partner, Tino. Shout out to my bro, T.
Shout out to Tino.
Love him to death. You know, without him, I wouldn't have been confident in this opportunity. He doesn't never like the limelight of real estate. That's why I didn't mention him. But, man, without his support behind my back, not like who I am today wouldn't even be a fact. I'm so appreciative of him. So much. And whether you know it or not, man, like Bong Tino, I love you a lot, man. Without your help and support early on, and he believed in me more than I did then. And in hindsight, subconsciously, like I didn't know it then, but he kept pushing me, you know, and I wouldn't let him down, and that was enough for me, you know. If somebody believed in me that much, I'm not gonna let you down. And you know, when I got fired, 15 days from the conversation of getting fired, we locked up like 3 contracts. It was close to like $25,000 we made right before the year ended. And I was like, yeah, we going full time.
Yeah, I love it.
That was a turning point, Mark Chluy. That was the turning point. And then I was like, yeah, the rest is history. Going into the new year, it was beautiful. Eagles won the Super Bowl. So it was sometime in February. The day of the Eagles parade here in Philly, I had a settlement where me and Bong Tino and my rich dad made like 13K. Right. So that was a celebration in itself. And yeah, man, the rest is history. It's been a wrap. You know, my first year I did about 9 deals. Me and Bong Tino acquired like 5 to 6 rental properties. We did like 3 to 5 wholesale deals. I don't really know. We did like 2 flips within the first 2 years. Then an incredible ride. And yeah, man, I'm just now trying to grow myself and who I am and my place in the community. And I really found it here for 2021. I'm super focused, you know.
I love it. It's an amazing story, Bong.
2 years in, I'm
man.
really.
So what is your real estate? There's so much involved. What was your like bread and butter? Was it the wholesale? Was it the fix or flip? Or was it like just anything you could get your hands on?
To be truthful, guys, it sounds amazing that I did 9 deals the first year, right? But we were broke. You know, my company and Tino's company, 925 Investment Group, we didn't have money. We had assets. Yeah, it sounded good. Like, yeah, we got 5, 6 rental properties. But if you were to ask us if we had money, truthfully, no. Because with our assets, we were cash flowing about 100 or 2 of each one, you know? But imagine a hot water tank heater or something break at 1. That's about like with insulation, $1,000. That's a nice chunk of cash flow, you know? So it's not like when people hear it in hindsight, like, oh, y'all got money now. All that overflow, that 102, whatever, we just set it aside just in case. Buying rentals is long-term game. Flips is like fast. You know what I mean? You get fast money, but you don't have generational wealth. Wholesale is immediate. You know, so really now for me, I realized that I got everything I wanted. You know, me and Tino actually got everything we wanted. I was like, man, yo, T, I want to do everything. And we did. We did rentals, wholesales, and flips. It's almost like be careful what you ask for, because when you get it, if you don't have other stuff lined up, then what? You get what I'm trying to say? Like you hit a brick wall, you like a ceiling. So at some point in time, you know, having such a great first year 2 was like a struggle, because it's like people kept asking, like, how do you top year 1? How you gonna make it greater? And I'm like, I don't know, man. This pressure is crazy. And I kind of went into discovery mode I was like, man, what can I do? What can I do? Like, who am I as an investor? I started to get into this state of mindset where I was like, man, it was too good of a first year. How did I do it? I started to reflect. I was like, man, it felt like nothing but luck. I was like, man, what if I ran out of luck? And then that's when I found my my guy, my good friend, my best friend now, my coach, my mentor, Dave Tran. Shout out to Team Happy. Something he created. Try with good vibes. You should see me shouting it a lot. He actually helped me transform into a lion. When I say transform, I'm the year of the tiger, 1986. But and I always thought, I was like, I'm a tiger, I'm a tiger. He was like, no, you could be whatever you want, just transform. And that's like under his coaching and mentorship, April of 2018, April of 20, no, April of 2019 is when he came back around to me. So a little story about David Tran is that he was there for my first wholesale deal of 10K, right? And he was there like the third month in is when I met him in real estate. And I didn't realize that he was such this great real estate guru and mogul, right? But he just had this nice calm spirit to him. Like he wasn't loud and saying much. And I was drawn to that. I was like, man, his partner is so loud, systematic. You know, he's okay being vocal, but I was like, Dave, I was like, he's just so quiet, humble, but why do I feel his vibration so much? I was like, why am I drawn to his energy? I need to learn that. Like when you're not saying nothing and you drawing like attention like that, like it's something different. So in hindsight, I didn't know that my rich dad Jason was under his mentorship, a partner of his. And I was like, man, I've always been in alignment with these guys. I just didn't know it. And when I got lost in April of 2019 is when he came back to me and took me in as a student. I paid him a nice chunk, you know, because, you know, what took him 10 years to do cost him a lot of money. It's the truth.
Right.
You know, we're not paying no Tony Robbins $500 for 40 years of service of learning how to do this, working with presidents and great actors and celebrities and fighters and, you know what I mean? To be paying him hundreds of dollars. And I'm going to be truthful with everybody. I paid him $30,000 for his coaching and mentorship. I really believed in him because
it's worth it. Yeah.
I always wanted to learn
yourself.
from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowledge, you know.
From the moment I met him, I was like, man, I want to work with him. I want to learn from him. And I did. I made that decision to do it. And that 30,000 made back and then some. And I chose to stay under his coaching and mentorship till this day. It's that incredible. It's that amazing. And Chluy, he knows of you.
No way. No way.
I'm dead serious. I was actually on the phone with him. And I was like, all right, coach. You know what I mean? I'm about to do this podcast. Been trying to do it my mom for a while. And I was like, yeah, it's hella Chluy. He was like, oh, I know him. He's funny as hell. So you,
wow.
you know what I mean? I think it's amazing that he knows of you. You know? I was like, oh, you know. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's a small world.
yeah, small world. But my goals this year for 2021 in real estate is I have my real estate license as well. So I use it whenever the opportunity shows itself to use it. But in the meantime, my goal is to do 200 wholesale this year. But not to do it this year in 2021, because that means I have 12 months to do it, right? Really, I changed the wording and I said I want to see how fast I could do it in this year. So it's a big goal, 200. My goal is minimum 10K a deal. So that's about 2 million. And you know, I'm like about 3-4 deals in.
Wow. Let's get it, man.
Really, that's on average. If you do the math, and guys, just to give you a little bit thing about business, if you don't focus on your numbers, there's no metrics to follow. So how do I know if I'm on track to actually do 200? So the math is, if I try to do it in 6 months, that's 9 a week, right? To do it by the end of June. But if I do it in 12 months, that's 4 a week. So, and I would say I'm on track for 4. I know that at some point in time that I'll be doing 10 plus in a week. So I'm just really developing myself. I got to master this strategy because buying rentals will come with ease. Doing a flip will come with ease, you know? I'm just in the state of mind to take massive action, ball.
I love your motivation and your drive. I feel motivated this year too to go hard, which is being more active and getting out of my comfort zone and just not like procrastinate. If I have an idea, I gotta execute it. Because sometimes, like last year, sometimes as a creator, I have ideas and then like it'll be in my head, but I don't execute it. I don't go out and shoot my skit idea or whatever, and then I just kind of lose motivation or lose inspiration or whatever. And then this year I'm just like I feel like every start of the year, I feel motivated, but I want it to be year round motivation. Just go out and get it, no matter what it is. It could be making content. It could be out going get a job or just go grind, go make something happen. Because we're living in weird times right now in this pandemic. So it's like some people are fortunate to have a job. Some people are just living off their unemployment, like myself, and then it's about to run out in like March. So it's like we gotta focus on what we not just to get by, but just to have fun with just love what you're doing, but just stay active, stay positive, and just be a go-getter, like be a lion, like you said.
And I think that's what you just, when I say yes, is really have fun with what you're doing and being curious and wondering. I think that's something that we as humans and stuff lost touch with, is that curiosity of things and actually going out and exploring and having fun, because people are so focused on like little detail. Oh, I wonder how they're going to think of me. I wonder if I should wear this and that.
Yep.
And it's just like, why don't you just go test something and wonder? Like, and when I say wonder and be curious, like I say, do it massively. Like, how are you going to be curious trying it 1 or 2 times? Like, that's not curious. Like, if you're going to be curious, massively curious. Like my mom, I love, like, one of my biggest strategies and I to show my students and to everybody is that you don't need a lot of technologies and these systems in place. You don't need all of that shit, right, to do real estate. I was like, you know what I do? I knock on doors. Hey, Bong. Hey, how you doing? Are you Bong Chluy?
Oh, man. Gorilla hunting, baby. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
You want to sell your house? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you got to go through all the no's. That's part of the process. I did a little real estate, so I know it's about gorilla hunting. It's about picking up the phone, cold calling, showing up, Zillow. Just property shark. Just really going in.
Yeah.
And just using the tools that you have and just calling, make those connections. Or face-to-face meetings with the landlord. Stuff like that.
It really is that, and Bong the Run. Shout out to Bong the Run. He has taught me like that, man, I'm really grassroots in the community. Like, I'm not scared to go into other communities and just walk around, get to know the neighborhood, be of service and value. Like, and when I go out there, I go with my agent hat on, because I am licensed to be out there. I am licensed to look at houses, and people don't go out with intention, with a purpose. And I'm giving you guys my secrets right now. This is stuff that I paid $30,000 for.
Yeah, I feel like this is. Yeah, I felt this is like this is valuable information. So hope you guys take some valuable information from this episode. So he's dropping all these gems.
People don't realize, like, when I'm door knocking, walking the neighborhood, it's intentional. I do that for 3, 4, 5 hours because I intentionally love it. That's what I went out there for, to connect, be grassroots in the community. When I see somebody doing some weeding or planting, I don't want to alarm. Hey, excuse me, sir. My name is Sean. What is your name?
Bob. Bong Chluy.
I don't want to alarm you. I know you see me just walking around here. I don't want to be of a stranger or anything like that. But look, I'm a real estate agent. I represent a lot of developers, and really, I don't know if they're out here or not driving around, but if they do, I want them to see me doing my best out here, doing whatever it takes to be of value to them, but not just to them, to the community. What I do best is I'm fast. I get fast results. So if you know of anybody that wants to buy a house, I can help them. If you know any neighbors or anything like that, your family, friends that want to sell a house, I can help them sell it fast also. And if you ever need my help with anything, here's my card. It's a magnet. I would love for you to put it on your refrigerator, because really the magnet, I love it to be marketed. And the best place is on your refrigerator. And look, if you do that, if you send me a picture to that number, which is my personal cell phone, I will send you $1. I don't pay for advertisement. The best advertisement is you guys. So look, I just want to give you $1. Just please stick it on your refrigerator, send me a picture. And then it really, my bong, it grows from there. Like conversation is like this.
I love that pitch. It's different. I never heard that one before.
The connection is just, I'm telling her, hey, look, this is my area. The developers love this area, so I'm always around. If you need anything, let me know. If you need a case of water, I'm there. 24-pack ready. You know
right.
what I mean? And it's
drop off some Coronas.
Right.
That's it's about building relationships, man. Real estate's about rapport, you know? It's a relationship business. Yeah.
People lost touch with that. They think, you know, because this is here, it's some type of automatic something available to them. And for me, I was like, you know what? If you are thinking of that, that means a lot of people are thinking of that. Let me just do something more traditional and just be straightforward, one-on-one, direct. And I wasn't always like this. My coach Dave coached me through the process of walking up the little steps, you know, making a fist, and just like this. Yo, guys, pay attention. This action of
it's nerve-wracking, man. Yeah.
Nerve-wracking and anxiety, the intimidation is so strong and powerful. And he never said, like, I don't care what you say after. If you can't do that, it's no point of anything else. And that was really powerful. I was like, you right, man. If I can't do this and this, what's the point of me asking you? What do I say? It doesn't matter at that point. If I don't do A, B, C. You don't need to tell me D. Sean, if you can't get A, B, C, don't worry about D. I'm like, God damn it. And that curiosity of what D was is what I wanted to know. You know, that belief in him was enough for me. I was like, man, I want to see what D is. Yo, what's up? All right, next. You know, as I'm doing, I'm just calling her like, all right, that was exciting. And it is exciting. That adrenaline was just enough for me to like, man, this is kind of fun, actually. And actually, I learned when you see me personally, I don't come across, I guess, as angry and stuff. That's naturally not me. I'm just naturally happy and smiling. And I learned through my coaches that that's one of my superpowers, just smiling naturally too. So he said, just do more of it. And the response of smiling more came off really well.
Yeah, I always remembered you as smiley and just kind of outgoing, happy. You know, you and Tina always showed me love, so I always have a respect for you guys, Bang the Rin. So, you know, I'll never forget you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw you, JL, and Bang the Rin, it was at a point in time in my life where I was yearning for something positive, like really positive in my life. That was when I was starting real estate, you know, and I tried to put on my friends at the time, community at the time, whoever I was around at the time, like real estate investing. I just found this group. At the time, I didn't know it, but I learned through Bang JL and Bang the Run, I needed a group where they understood emotional IQ. When they introduced it to me, it was something that clicked right away. I was like, I've been looking for this. Somebody that understands that that accepts my authenticity. Like, I don't want to be thugged out and stuff, tough around a bunch of guys, because naturally I choose happiness and I'm just happy. I'm grateful, you know? And the first time I saw you three was at City Hall when you guys were fighting for deportation. And I was in the state of mind to accepting opportunities and doing stuff different. And the Bang the Rin was putting out like, hey, show up to City Hall, support Cambodian, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And City Hall was down the street from 17th and Walnut, which is about 2-3 blocks away. So I was like, I can make it. There's no excuse for me not to make it. So I just showed up and just stood nearby. And I seen you and Bang JL, and I got excited. I was like, oh shit, That's more. At the time, that's hella Chluy. You know, you wasn't born with me. Then I didn't feel that. I was like, oh, that's hella Chluy. And even then, I was like, that's JL. And then at the time, Bong the Room was just busy, you know, back and forth. So I didn't want to interrupt anybody. So I just wanted to be up present and support. But then I had to leave for work. But you know, that experience in itself, just to see, I think you was working the camera to assist
Or
JL.
yeah, probably I was probably helping JL with the B camera.
Yeah, and Montiel was floating around and just doing things, and I was like, man, it's good. It was not what I expected because I didn't think you. I'm be honest, I didn't think you did that work. I thought you was more like in front of the camera. To see you like.
I was beginning to learn to like to be behind the camera. I was always into like video editing, and I think eventually at some point I was going to be a full-time editor, if not for myself, but shoot other people too. But yeah, learned a lot from JL. So you know, but I enjoy everything about the whole process. You know, whether it be in front of the camera or behind the camera. Yeah,
it was a different perspective that where I was just always used to seeing you in front of the camera on social media and stuff like that. So to see you actually embody that craft, I was like, oh shit, it makes sense. Like, duh, you gotta, if you're in front of the camera, you know, there's somebody working or you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the time I was like fan crazy, I guess you could say, like, oh man, co-production and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like you Gucci, you know?
That's funny.
Man, you got a production system, you know. Bong JL,
Yeah, we had an operation. Yeah,
it was like a reality check, man. Like that's not reality, you know. Everybody starts somewhere, and I really that perspective was really strong and powerful for me because it started to actually get me more in tune with your videos. Like if he's the one behind it, but in front of it, how can I connect with that too? And then that's when I just started on that path of, I was like, I guess for me, it's probably going to get comfortable watching myself and seeing myself.
You know? Like vlog style or just documenting even on your phone. Yeah.
Just starting to go live. And at the time, you know, Facebook was really something I took serious because a lot of the real estate investors were there. And I'm seeing people go live and I'm like, man, I want to go live. And then I was like, man, Bong Chluy is behind the camera, he in front of the camera. I was like, man, just Sean, don't even overthink it. Just go live. I like fuck everybody else. Just do it for you and get used to it for yourself. And that's what I started. You know, and it was it started off with just actually seeing you behind it. And I started to be more in tune with you in front of it too.
Yeah, which reminds me, for this year, I want to go live more so I can engage with my followers. Like till this day, I'm not comfortable going live, like on like a Facebook live or YouTube live, but I'm definitely gonna start doing it more. You know, like even if it's a Q&A or you know just checking up on my people, or maybe do like a live mukbang with some friends on Zoom. Have a Zoom party like last time.
Right.
I think Christmas Eve I did a little Zoom party and it was a pretty good turnout. You know, like wow, people came through and we had a good time. You know,
yeah.
So like, you know, if you're gonna be in front of a camera, there's no reason to be shy. So go live more. Be yourself. That's all it is, you know. People will respect you if you just be yourself and just have fun.
Yeah.
You know,
I have you know, something I want to share that I didn't really publicly share. I started to do it, but it wasn't like a big announcement. But a role that I'm taking on, and I'm gonna share with you here on the Hella Chluy channel.
You're here first on ChluyTalk, y'all. So this is about to be some breaking news right here. Let me know, Sean. Hit us with it.
Official. So the biggest real estate investing association, right? So they call it REIA, REIA, Real Estate Investing Association, right? The biggest one here on the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Delaware, hosted by Nick Tang. Nick Tang is like, man, I call him the god of real estate. I'm sure a few other people can relate to that. He's created a platform for so many people here in our business to have a voice, to share their business, to promote their business, you know? But yeah, Nick Tang has given me his podcast, his channel, pretty much, his RIA to host it. So he's been hosting it for about, I don't know, I've known him. I've been in it for like 3 years now, and he's just always been the face of it, along with his one of his students, Elijah Barber. Shout out to Elijah, my co-host. But he's at that point where he's okay to take a step back. And I want to say Nick Tang he's a partner of my coach, Coach Dave and Nick Tang, they're partners. So, that's how I didn't know the connection of who I have access to and stuff. Like, it's really powerful. And, I have to remind myself the opportunity I'm given every day. And to be given this opportunity to host his podcast and his channel and be the face of it is an amazing opportunity, and I've been learning. It is always live. So I've been training like December. I got introduced November and trying to develop this host mentality. And you're right, it really is nerve-wracking to be live and to interview
speaking. Yeah.
Ask the right questions, control the momentum, the excitement of it.
Right.
So, just to be live here with you, I've been preparing,
We're not live. It's recorded, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, man, you guys heard it first. I'm hosting like one of the biggest associations here on the East Coast.
Wow.
I interview one of the top wholesalers, the top brokers, the top lenders, the top agents. And it's nerve-wracking sometimes, but I'm so blessed and thankful for the opportunity that.
Wow, I'm excited for you, Bong.
At some point, I refuse to be comfortable. I'm going to stay uncomfortable and learn and grow because, there's no right time to go live than at that moment. And thank you, Nick Tang and Dave, for considering me. And the answer is always yes. Like, you guys need me to do this. Yes, like, let's do it,
Yeah, I'm excited for you. This is going to be a good opportunity. So, be yourself, man. Just have fun with it. And there's no right or wrong question or, just do your thing.
I'm learning that. I guess sometimes I'm too much in my head. I can overdo it. I get that. But, Coach Dave always says, Sean, man, just be Sean Radiant's son. That's good enough. Be the curious you. And I lose touch of that. Sometimes we get robotic and it's
like, and we overthink and, and we just gotta relax. Like, sometimes I get that stage fright, butterflies, but then I just think like, this is what I work so hard for,
Right.
And all these years, and there's no reason to be shy or can't do that now. We're past that stage.
You never know until you hear it how impactful it could be, So it really motivates me when I hear it a lot. So I never am scared to let people who influence me know, like, yo, that was so impactful, man. And you guys be surprised, just that little bit of acknowledgement to that person goes a long way. It pushes them a lot. So, shout out to the people that always show me love and push me to continue to be better, that challenge me, and I appreciate it a lot.
Yep. The value of a team, man. Shout out to your team. Shout out to my team. It's important to have a solid foundation, a team. And, I feel like I don't shout them out enough, so they know who they are, But I think these last couple episodes, I shout them out a lot. So it's like, I feel like I totally agree with you, I totally feel you, It's important to have a solid team and, stay positive, man. And you guys are going to kill it.
Yeah, man.
What's kill the game
going on, bro? It's so easy access to like negative information. So I was like, man, what does it look like to just have access to all happy information? That's it. And I try to be a representation or in that state of mind where, like, even my wife, when she tries to tell me something and if it's negative, I just, Shay, did you look it up yet? And I'm like, no, I probably won't. But if you want to tell me, feel free to, but I'll probably forget, 'cause it's just like, you can look up negative information all day.
All day.
How often do you like, yo, happy news? What's today's date? Tuesday. Happy news. 1/12/2021. Like, who actually, shout out, yo.
Yeah.
I do it right now. Take a moment, pause this video. Take a moment to say happy news.
Happy news.
Whatever day it is for you that you're watching this. And see what pops up and share that. Share that happy news on your story, your timeline.
On our story. Yeah, I like that.
And I always say, you know what? Instead of always looking for bad news, create happy news for your family. You
I
know,
love it.
it's easy to say like, yo, did you hear about, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Why don't you try to create something positive and happy for your family? Yo, you know Mrs. Johnson down the street, blah, blah, who always help us, and y'all brought her some flowers. She was so happy. You know what I
I
mean?
like it.
Create
Yeah, I
happy.
agree. Create happiness, you know?
You
It's a
know,
whole
if you
mood.
grow money like this, $20, $30, the gesture of something like, when I go to the bank, shout out to my bankers at my team at TrueMark. I never knew what it was like to have a relationship with your banker. I didn't know what that looked like. You know, hey, drop down below if you don't know what it looks like. And, you know,
Right.
I don't. Well, what does it really mean to have a relationship with your banker? And I never knew until I kept having to go to my bank. And the cool thing is I asked them questions and they educate you. If you want to learn banking questions, no better person to go than to ask your teller. You know, but to be in a state of open mindedness, to be ready to learn, you have to be intentional about it. Mom, how do I clear this check faster?
Mm.
You know what I mean? You know, when someone
Ask questions. You
says like, hey, it takes 24
definitely.
hours to clear this check. Mom, come on, man. I've been coming in here for like about a year and a half. How can I clear this check fast? I know you could do it. Sean, you're right. I could clear this for you. You always come here. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to realize the power that they have. Like, it's many times I probably overdrafted like over $1,000 many times, and like I was just like, yo, Mom Chluy, can you refund me that overdraft, man? I know I messed up, but I refunded it right away. Come on, man. I'm already broke. Why are you gonna take money I don't have? And
Yep.
guys, ask your banker when you get overdrafted, ask them to refund you. Tell them, look,
Yeah.
time's hard right now.
They can make it happen too. I've had that happen too. Where
They can make it happen.
to let it slide a couple times.
Mark, I go into my bank, they treat me really good. They educate me, you know, and when there's a holiday or something, I grab them donuts, I grab bubble tea. The smallest things, $30 goes such a long way to somebody.
Hell yeah. That's what's up, man. I love it. I love your story, Bong, and I'm excited for your future. I'm excited for this year. We're gonna crush our goals, and live the life that we deserve.
If I hit my goal of 200, man, I'm gonna have other problems, like, which is true. Like if you have 2 million and you make 2 million, like, oh shit, I gotta pay taxes. How can I save? I say it's so funny when you
more money, more problems.
When there's a problem, there's a solution, and then there's a result that creates another problem. It's like a constant cycle. Like, oh shit, I got too much money. How do I keep all this?
Hire a tax guy.
Oh man, I gotta buy a car. That's a write-off.
Yeah.
Like, who has to buy a car? You know what I mean? I'm excited, dog. You know, if I get to the point where I'm okay, I want to take a Bong trip. You know?
Oh yeah. Let's go to. So come on, I got my passport now. Let's get it.
Yeah.
It ain't ready for me.
I just dropped off my dad 2 days ago. He's in Srokmai. He probably landed already.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, shout out to your dad. He remarried, got a little young John, you know what I'm saying?
That's usually how it goes. my dad did the same.
I got a little brother over there. He's about 6.5. So I never met him yet, and I'm really anxious to see him. You know what? Well, I never heard when I picked up my dad about like 10, 12 days ago from Florida. He was in Florida with his brother and sister. I picked him up. He FaceTimed my little brother, 6.5 years old with his new wife. And man, I never heard somebody talk pure Cambodian like that ever. I'm like, who the heck? And it was, and for a split second, I forgot that I had a little brother, from another mother. And man, pure Cambodian. I could learn a thing or two here,
Definitely. Them kids, man, they speak like adults out there.
Shout out to my little brother, David. That's the name my dad picked out from, David.
David. It's a good name. One of my best friends is David, so
So my bond,
Awesome.
bro, what's your goals this year? I want to know because this is really our
Um,
first conversation,
my
real conversation together.
my goal is to this year is to like make YouTube like a full time job for me. Like previous years, I've been kind of on and off. Like it's like this year with the podcast, I'm starting to build consistency. I'm releasing every week, every Saturday. So, but Saturday is just one day out of the week. So I want to do more vlogs, add more mukbangs, and just do stuff where I'm releasing content, whether it be music videos, um, just like I'm doing more stuff that TikTok related videos. Like I'm just trying to stay up to date with what I think TikTok is perfect for short form comedy. It's like it's made for me, So I'm starting to build a following there. I'm about to crack 300,000, not 3,000 followers.
Oh, nice.
Slowly building my my visibility on TikTok. It's a different algorithm, so I definitely like the challenge of starting from fresh, from scratch. So it's like I like that platform a lot now. I'm still gonna continue posting on Instagram, whether it be comedy. Like some of these comedy just hit me out of nowhere. It's all like off the top of my head. So I've just been every day. I just try to wake up, be inspired. At least try to shoot a video a day.
Right.
Maybe at bare minimum, my podcast is one video a week. But I want to fill in the gap. If I'm releasing a podcast on Saturday, I still have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to make other stuff happen. Whether it be comedy skits, vlogs, mukbangs, or go out, explore New York City. I just got a drone now, so I'm going to incorporate drone footage in my production. So I think the sky's the limit. But I want whatever I did last year as far as content, I want to double up, But I also want to do quality and quantity. Like they say, quality over quantity. I feel like the key to success is you have to have the amount. You have to be consistent. You have to put out a lot of content. And just at a high level, like I like JL, he releases almost every day, and it's high quality content, and that's how your video becomes visible on YouTube. Once your quality is up, YouTube's algorithm will push you out to the masses. It's also the watch time. It's all about watch time, people watching it. So I want to focus on making watchable content, enjoyable content too. Not just like commodity related stuff, but also like venture into like a more broader audience too. I might showcase Brooklyn, New York. Like some highlight some local hole in the wall restaurants that I like or something, or do a whole episode on maybe like chopped cheese or the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. Like the why is this a New York staple? Stuff like that, and just kind of give a little history. I think it's because I live here. I live in a good neighborhood. I live in Brooklyn. So it's like, I can't really go far. I'm not taking the train, so I might just bike around or just walk around and just do what's in my neighborhood. I think it's content, and I don't really see a lot of like food vlogs in my particular neighborhood. So there might be a market for this. There might be people that search it. So,
Right.
And New York City is one of the the greatest cities in the world, man. There's no way. you got to make it happen. You make it here, you can make it anywhere. So I feel like it's time to put yourself out there.
I get you living in New York because the real estate market in New York, man, anybody living out there, I was like, man, I don't know how to do it. Like,
it's
crazy.
Yeah.
That thing is crazy, man. I commend you though for everything that you're doing, man. I be cracking up. I always say, like, how does he do that? Like, even
it just comes natural, man. Like I don't force it. I feel like that's why a lot of people relate. It's just a lot of stuff are just like relatable content, or just like stuff my brothers used to do, or my dad. Just especially the Khmer stuff. It's always like how the old heads are funny as hell by default. They're funnier than just the way they argue with each other is funny. So I take notes when I'm at a family gathering. I'm like, this could be a skit.
Right.
I be watching. So. That's how I get my vocab. I'm not really that fluent. I just remember what people say. Old heads say. Yeah.
Yes, same here. I'm like, I guess growing up with my parents speaking Cambodian, I was broken English. Cambodian English. But being with
English.
my wife's family for like the past 10 years, which is really full Vietnamese, I've lost a lot of the Cambodian language in me. So it's super broken now, So it's fun to talk to you and Bong Narun and Bong Jail, it really is the few opportunity I get to practice Bong Tino, Cambodian,
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's like to me when I speak to JL or Narin, it's like just me practicing just to get
Yeah,
better, just make it a habit to speak to each other. So I think it's fun, and it's especially when the other person plays along too and they try. So it's like at least we're trying.
yeah. Even like talking to my dad is so rough sometimes because I
Shit.
separated so much. I had to have Bong Tino like, yo, T, Squid. I call him Squid. I was like, yo, I need you to come translate
Translate.
for me.
That's
I was
funny.
like, man, I need a translator to talk to my dad.
It'd be like that. Sometimes I can't even speak a full sentence to my mom.
I had a realization like a week or two ago where you know how like you have like a generational line of guys that may have done the army, they're
Yeah, yeah.
or they're politicians or they all are lawyers. They have a line of some type of craft or focus, right? And
Right.
I really thought about I was like, my grandfather was a Buddhist monk, and then his business was creating the robes and opening up a storefront and accessories for monks. And then my dad and uncle, his brother, was in, they did the monk life for about 3 to 4 years. So, and then even me, myself, doing it for the small time frame that I did, I was like, it's pretty cool. I got a generational line of Buddhism,
Buddhism, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I accepted my calm state of who I am. I don't really like a big shift in mentality, because I know that if something gets me hyper, there's something wrong somewhere with somebody that got me to that state. Because normally, don't everybody want to stay in a state of happiness?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I think so. I want to.
Right. But yeah, I just wanted to share that, I guess, for the simple fact of my happiness. People never. I had somebody say 2 nights ago, a tenant that I'm helping right now. Is like, Sean, you're just too nice. I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before. And like, yeah, it's like unbelievable. I'm like, I come in here with the mentality of service and to provide value. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not even,
Right.
and I was like, man, I guess it's not offered as often that people find it unbelievable. And
Yeah.
I challenge everybody to try to be aware of that. Like, go to places and see if they're really, giving their all service and value to give you an experience, So I guess that's why my success in real estate has really been amazing, like super amazing. Last year, I moved into this beautiful new house. I got out the hood, where I used to live. In the summertime, I used to have wet curbs. From what? Piss. It used to be drug dealers right across the street. My son couldn't go outside and play. That wasn't even like a thought for me until I woke up one day. I was like, man, I'm tired of this reality and I don't accept it. It really is unsafe. And something that really was a fact was my sister-in-law moved out because of a shooting in front of the house. And
Wow.
I said to the family, I said, you know what? Since you moved out, sister, it's been 3 shootings. And me and your little sister, my wife, have woken up to all of them. I was like, the next shooting, something's going to really happen. And then that's when we'll act. I was like, what if we act before something happens? Now is the time. And, I just accepted that that's not the reality I want. Living in a bad neighborhood. And I made that a goal for myself. And it really opened up my eyes to what having a goal is. When I think about, in reality, I can't rely on my friends to pay my bills. They have their own family. They have their own reality. I was like, my reality is to get my family to safety because we're living in a really bad hood. Drug dealers right across the street. My wife comes home. She's beautiful. These guys are hitting on her. And really, can I say, like, fuck you? Stop talking. You know what I mean? They'll shoot up the house. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't no, like, like bitch shit. I'm not being a bitch. Like they know where I live. They can harm my family. So like, you know, it's just like we gotta just
Get out.
accept that reality. Either and look, I fully accepted what I could do. I can get a gun and protect myself, or I can make a conscious decision to move. So I was like, nah, man, my best friend died from a gunshot wound to the head. I don't want a gun. I don't want to play that factor. I want to move. So let's move. So from the moment I woke up, I had to go and talk to my family members one at a time to get them in the mindset of moving. That in itself was hard enough, but I did it because I really believed that it was time to get up and go. And I beat my goal of buying a house by 6 years. I thought I was going to do it by the age of 40, you know, and I started real estate investing at the age of 30. So 4 years in, I beat it by 6 years. And I'm really proud of myself, Bong. You know, I set the intention to get a house and get my family to safety. And
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Yeah, man.
you know, it's been like a month. Like the January 7th was a month in because we moved the second week of December finally in. So a lot has happened. I try, instead of being on social media and sharing so much, I said, you know what? I'm going to be in a state of presence and just enjoy this. You know, I never had a house where I could just pull up and park. Before I used to have to circle the block. It took me sometimes 30 minutes, an hour. I had to sit in my car to find a safe parking spot. When I say safe, I don't mean in front of my house because the drug dealers are leaning up against your car, putting beer on your car. You know, I could show you my TSX and show you all these scratch marks. And this is how I know I accepted my reality then, because I love cars. I love to wash and clean, but I accepted that, you know what, there's no point in taking care of my 2008 Acura TSX because they're going to dirty it up anyway.
Right.
So I leave it as is.
Daddy,
Yeah, buddy?
can I go to Juju house?
Yeah, we're going to go in like 30 minutes.
Can I eat?
Yeah. But yeah, you know what I mean? I accepted that there's no point in having a nice car because my reality is going to eat it up anyway. So what's the point? So it's just like I folded to the fact that, like, Sean, you do love cars. You do like to take care of cars. You love your Acura. You know, it's just that you accepted your neighborhood that made you put that in the background. But now that I moved out, my mom, I'm excited to go to Pep Boys AutoZone. I'm excited to spend like $2 on like cleaning supplies for your car, like a hose. You know, I'm just excited because it's like I have a yard now. Like since moving in, me and my son has played catch. We played with snow, and I see how it affected his life through his schoolwork. You know, his stories in school now is like, I played football with my dad in our yard. You know, me and my dad went and played Build a Snowman. We made snowball. You know, and I was like, and my wife is telling me like, yeah, all he keeps talking about is your time with him outside. And I'm like, man, like how impactful is that shit? Yeah, you know, we as adults don't see how like, oh, I'm just going out to play catch with him. You know, have snow with him, play snow. But I never thought of how impactful it is to his whole life because that's his experience of right now, you know? And he's sharing it with his classmates and his teacher through his sentences and stuff. I'm like, man, that's pretty dope, you know? I'm just thankful that we got here, you know?
Wow. Man, that's an inspiring story, man. You got out the hood, made your first, you know, bought your first home 4 years ahead of your schedule, and you know you improved the quality of life for your family and your kids, you know. So salute to you, man. You're an inspiration to me. I definitely want to get on your level one day. Definitely, it's all about ownership. You know, me and my girl, we're talking about buying a property in the next couple of years as well. So like maybe even venturing out to Jersey or you know somewhere out in New York to get
right.
affordable, like, you know, like a house, like not, you know, 'cause we're paying rent and it's like, it's expensive. So it's like, it could be mortgage. We could use it for mortgage. So, you know, definitely, you know, real estate will always be a part of, you know. Yeah.
When I try to tell Bong to run and Bong Jail, like once you get it, you know, I think I said it early on, like once you get something, you can't unget it, you know? But I always tell people, the general public, like, you know, people don't buy and sell houses the way I'm doing it. Like monthly, daily and stuff, always Really, if you think about it, and because I understand this, people buy and sell once or twice in their life. You know, they buy their first home, they live there for like 10, 12, 15 years. You know, they have kids, the kids grow up and go, they don't need this house anymore. Let me go to my forever home. And then that's their second. They sell their house and then go into their final, you know? And I guess knowing that, I have an understanding of where people are at, and it allows me to educate, help them get what they want, and progress smoothly and peacefully to what they want, their destination, you know? And I think people lose touch of being of value to other individuals. You know, it's not always about a dollar. You know, I think the relationship in the long run is more valuable than anything. You know, if you provide a good service and value, the money really comes. You know, you solve problems. And I'm like, guys, think about your market of where you're solving problems at and what you're doing. I'm solving like real estate issues, like foreclosure type stuff. Tenants don't have money to pay, you know, and houses is real property. When I say real property, is if you flip it upside down, it won't fall to the ground. You know, houses ain't gonna fall into space. It actually sticks. So I tell people, I was like, you're solving like real estate hundreds of $1,000 problems. So if you can solve these problems, the value returns itself. But don't think about it. Just try to solve the problem and you'll get paid for it by default. And it ain't in like $100, $200. You know what I mean? You're dealing with real estate, like real property. Right. So it comes in the thousands is what people miss the connection with. So I always tell my students, right, that I coach is if you can, and I tell them, I was like, you know what, how can you expect to make $23,000 to $5,000 to $10,000? How do you expect to make that if you can't even solve this little issue or willing to talk to this person to do so? And I tell them the truth. I was like, you don't want it. If you don't want it, that's okay. You know, I just want to, I know I want it. Let me do it. I want to work with people who do want to do that, who are willing to be uncomfortable and have conversations to solve these issues and problems, you know? You get paid back tenfold. It's amazing how real estate, you know, helps create wealth. And now, like I see, I can't unget it at all. I can't unget it. I'm always thinking about it.
I totally agree, and it's facts, man. Yo, Sean, we had a great conversation. So, to end this on a good note, what advice would you give to like someone that wants to get into real estate?
You know, if you guys really want to get into real estate, find a coach or mentor that you're really comfortable with, that you believe in, and learn from them, because they're going to cut out a lot of the time for you to reach success. What my coach did in 10 years, I achieved in 1 year. Like, he has said it to me. He's like, damn, Sean, like, what you have is what I wanted for myself. You know, but it took me 10 years to actually understand and actually teach it. I would say I'm his second successful student. His first student, shout out to Tweet, my homie, my bro. She's amazing and she motivates me. If I can give you anybody one piece of advice, I'm gonna give you the piece of advice that she gave me that changed everything for me. And it enabled me to take control, right? And I hope you guys print this out, write it somewhere, because if you read it every day and think of it and feel it, it can get you to do whatever it takes, right? So the piece of advice she gave me was, Sean, you are not fucked up for what you were given in life, but you are fucked up if you decide to stay there. And this is from a female's perspective.
I love it. That's
you know what I mean? I'm like,
that's real. That's real.
It couldn't have been more
real.
I could have sat there. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you don't know that where my parents has come from. You don't know that what I could have went into defense mode, but it's true. Like, she actually gave me validation. Like, hey, you're not fucked up for what you were given. I'm not saying it, but if you decide to stay in the suck, you are fucked up because you have kids, you have a wife, you know, you're in a bad neighborhood. Like, yeah, you are fucked up. I'm gonna be that one, because she didn't care for my friendship. She didn't care for my validation. All she cared was to give me what I needed. Whether I took it or not, entirely up to me. And I repeat that to this day, like every day. Like, Sean, if you don't do shit, man, you fucked up because you're gonna stay where you are.
That's great advice, and I just want to say, keep being you, and keep killing it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I look forward to to linking up and just having some good deal again once with my bongs, man. Just once this pandemic, calm down or get, once this pandemic is no more, man. I can't wait to just break bread with you guys. Go to Philly's Cambodia town, eat some good deal, eat some whatever, man, and just catch up, man. Talk about my excellence. Talk about taking over the world, man. I love the positive attitude, the mindset. You inspire me, and I'm pretty sure you inspire a lot of people. Your team around you, and and let's just keep it positive and just motivate each other, support each other. And if you guys are looking to sell your home or purchase a home, hit up my man Sean Radiant Sun. Remember the name. Feel free to reach out to him. I have all his contact info on the screen. So, yeah, thank you, Sean, man.
Thank you,
my bong. Happy New Year. Stay blessed. Tell the family I said hello.
I will. We'll
Happy New Year.
For Cambodia New Year. And if
hopefully by April we'll link up. New Year, hopefully, man.
If
you never know.
Date JL's house. So JL, cook some food. We coming over.
Let's do it.
We coming, man.
Yeah, that'll be fun, man.
I appreciate you. I love you so much. And
likewise. Love you too, brother.
You.
All right, Bong. Take care, all right?
All right, Bong. Thank you.
Thank you.